All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Avian, and we have been learning how to make a Stardew Valley mod using my Garden Cottage mod as we go. It was pointed out to me that one of my recent videos I uploaded had no audio, and somehow the captions had also gotten turned off, so nobody could tell me until a very, very kind person posted on one of my other videos to let me know. Thank you so much. I had no clue. I'm so sorry about that. So here we go. I am going to redub over that video in hopes that I can actually get the useful information to you all. So I'm going to do my best to remember what it was I was doing as we go through, and then place this over the what should have been the audio included in that video so that hopefully the content is still usable to y'all. So here we go. All right, we're going to just redo this from scratch because I don't know what I was doing. All right. So aside from the cat who really wants to help me redo this video, I'm going to apologize if she gets in front of my camera. She's being very stubborn at the moment. Isadora, ma'am, I need you to lay down if you're going to help. So I've done this once, and I apologize that the audio got all messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I'm going to walk through what I did. And hopefully I'll be able to tell you all the information you need to know. It just won't be as demonstrative as my first attempt. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to New Layer. You're going to choose your pink object layer, and you're going to name it Buildings, because that is going to correspond to your buildings layer that has your tiles. So we have your buildings with the tiles, and then we have the pink buildings layer that's going to have all of your object data on it. Excuse me, my cat is in danger of knocking my coffee over, and I need that coffee. And we cannot pull the headphones out of the computer either. That may have been how we lost the audio the first time. So you can see these squares. These are where the tile data goes. If I hit the hide eye on the buildings layer, that shows you that those are there. The other thing we want to do is we're going to import the paths tile sheet from the vanilla tile folder. And that is going to be this tile sheet that has the red icons for the trees and the lights. And what I like to do, because this makes indoor lighting much easier, is you take this red light bulb tile, and anywhere you place that on your map, it is hard-coded into your game. As long as you're on the paths layer, you want to make sure you're on your paths layer. Don't want to miss a step there. So if I take the tile on the paths layer and place it right here, then at night when the NPC or your farmer or whoever goes in, there will be a light, like an overhead ceiling light, shining on that area. The other way to do lights is what I've done for this lamp right here. So we're going to go into Map Properties. We're going to use so you can right click. If you left click, you get this plus sign that says Add Property. And then you're going to type in light, just like I've done right there. And then on this, once light is in there, you're going to type in the coordinates. So in this case, 1210 is going to be first. That's your X and Y coordinates. And then you're going to type in the light type. Jump to the lighting section. So each light type, if you're on the Wiki page, they give you the full breakdown as well as this handy dandy chart right here. So you're going to do your XY coordinate, and they're going to use the corresponding value to the type of light you want right here. Izzy, lay down. So for example, 4 is going to be your standard, like your outdoor lamp. 1 is more of a lantern. 2 is a window, like the light coming in from a window. And so that is going to be, you're going to choose the value you like best from this list. They do have the visual chart you can use. I need to find a way to cat-proof these things. So you're going to do, so in my case, I wanted the lantern, so it's 12, 10, and then a 1. If it makes it easier, you can click on the little dots beside the 3 little dots, and it'll pop up a big text box for you. This is great for night and day tiles, which is actually one of the things I wanted to show you as well. And this one, I actually think I may have forgotten one of the night and day tiles. So you would do, your night and day tiles have to be done in pairs. So you would do day tiles with the capital D and capital T, and night tiles, same way. And then you're going to type in the layer in which the tile you want to do is. So in this case, this is all the windows. I'm going to do this lamp. So I need to figure out what layer. It's either on the front or the buildings. It is on the front. And that's why these little eyes are so useful, because you can just watch and so we're going to go into, again, map properties. For day tiles, I'm going to pop up my box here. You're going to put the, sorry, I'm just checking my XY, 10, 12. You're going to put the layer. So in this case, it's front. Your XY coordinates, so 10, 12. Okay, and then what you need is your tile sheet ID. So I'm going to go to the town interior tile sheet, which is what I've got that light from. I'm going to find it. Oh, I'm on the town interior 2. I need town interior 1. So I'm going to find my lamp. I'm going to click on it in the tile sheet. And then up here, you'll see it says ID 480. So that is my tile sheet ID for that. So I'm going to go back to map properties, and my day tile pop up, space, and that 480. So what that says is during the programmed daytime, we're going to place tile 480 on the XY grid 1012 on the front layer. So for your night tiles, you can do all your day tiles, and then you just copy your day tile. Go to night tiles, paste that in, make sure there's a space between each section, no commas, just spaces on this. And then we're going to go to our tile sheet, and I'm going to find the lamp that is all lit up. So right here in this case becomes 809, properties, night tiles, and instead of 480, it's 809. So now at 8 o'clock when night hits, all of my windows and lights that I've set as night and day tiles are going to switch between the 2 tiles. So that is how you do night and day tiles and lighting. You can also look on your wiki here. They have some other things, like if you want ambient light to be something different. So for example, ambient light 95, 95, 95 for normal indoor daytime lighting. You can go to your wiki. I like to copy the term directly off the wiki so I know I've spelled it correctly, because I am prone to typos. In your map properties, left click, add properties, ambient light. We know that value is 95, 95, 95 because it was in the chart, but you can play with these values and get different lighting. So if you want more purple light or green light, if you're doing something fancy, play with the values. There's guides out there to figure out what colors equal what changes there to help. And now that indoor lighting for this area is going to be set to that default lighting type. I always like to make sure I save when I do things like that. Let's see, lighting. Let's see, do I want the farmer? Farmer's not going to need to fill up the watering can, but there is a tile type for setting a water source. So for example, indoor water is what it is here. So you could set indoor water true on that tile, and that would then make the farmer able to fill up their watering can from that spot. So there's this whole chart here on the wiki of all the things you can do. I'm just going over the basics of what I want to do in my mod for this map. The doors, the interior doors that open and close, like in everybody's houses. So what we're doing is we're going to find this slightly transparent door frame on the town interior sheet. It's at the top next to all the different wall types. So up here is the first row. It's pretty easy to find. You are going to, I'm going to turn off these lights so you can see how it's placed. So on your buildings layer, you're going to place the bottom of the door. You are then going to, on the front layer, place the top of the door and then the top edge of the door on the tile above that. It's across 2 tiles here. As long as those are placed there, those spaces will be replaced by the door animation as long as it's coded correctly. This is something that's hard coded into the vanilla game. So all we have to do with the Content Patcher mod is place the tiles correctly and then place the correct tile data, and then it will open and close. So on our buildings layer, after we've placed the door on the map, we go to our pink buildings layer and we go to one of these, like the square up here. Actually, I'm just going to redo it. So you can set your square like that. This little pink button there works as a selector tool. So you place your square. Let's just redo it. I'll show you. You place your square. You make sure it's selected. You're going to go to name. This is very important. This does not work unless you name this tile data. T-I-L-E, capital D-A-T-A, all one word, 2 capitals. Because that is going to tell the programming what to read. Now you left click, add property. I believe it is action door. A-C-T-I-O-N. For add property, action, and then in this box, door. I'm just going to double check myself. Just got to find it because there's a door is mentioned a lot of times on the wiki. There it is, action door. Yes, buildings layer, action door. You can, if you have an NPC and that's their bedroom, you can then add their name to the end, and that way it stays locked unless you have the 2 hearts with that NPC. And there are also things you can do where you can have it locked within a certain time frame. For like exterior doors and stuff on shops, but for just an interior door that doesn't require any fancy locks, it's just action door. So now, and make sure that says tile data. If you go to map properties, this is the second half of this, you have to add a map properties that's doors plural, D-O-O-R-S plural. You're going to add, let's see, 16.8. Sorry, let me get this pulled up. So it's going to be your XY location, 16.8, the name of the map tile sheet that the door is on. So in this case, it's town interior. If you change your name, you will want to make sure that that name is reflected here. And then the tile ID is 120. So again, if you click on your tile here, we're using the bottom of the door because that is the part that the player is going to click on. If you look at your ID, it's 120. So doors, 16.8, map name, tile ID. On your buildings, it's tile data, action, door. And those 2 things together combined with what is already coded into the game will let that door open and close. Your messages, like for example, if you click on the refrigerator and it says, there's a sandwich in here, you also do that on your buildings layer. You will also draw a box like we did for the doors. You're also going to name it tile data, and it is also going to be an action. However, in this case, the field you fill in is going to be message. You're going to do quotes, and then you're going to do your message key. So in my example, I named it MP Trailer 1. MP for Maple Park, that's the name of my area, trailer for the building, and then 1 is because this is the first message I made in here. You can do NPC name message, just message 1, 2, 3, whatever makes sense to you, as long as you remember this part. Because when you go into your strings, you're going to make a strings JSON. Let's see, did I name it house strings or did it? Yes, I named mine house strings. You're going to do your standard curly bracket open close, changes, square bracket open close, your log name. I actually need to change this to map strings because it's very much evolved beyond just his house. We're going to do action. Oh, let me get this full screen and blown up. I'm so sorry, guys. Trying to remember to keep things big enough for you to see them. So log name, action, edit data, target, strings, dash, strings from map. I'm going to target this cat if she doesn't get out of the way. You're going to get yourself kicked out, ma'am. Lay down. Strings from map, intrace, and then you're going to do an open and closed curly bracket on your intrace. And again, everything's going to go inside all of that, so you see all my closes down here. And then you're going to put the double quotes, the name that you put on your map for your message is going to go right here. That is going to be your key. A colon, another set of double quotes, and you'll either put your string, or if you have a translation file made, you'll put your translation key. So all of this that says 1i18n strings, those are all my translation keys. So if I go down to Maple View Park section right here, you'll see it's mp.trailer.1, just like I have it written right there. Isidore, lay down. Thank you. She's an hour out from being fed and she wants her meal early, and that is what all this ridiculousness is about. So I apologize for all the interruptions. Let's see, was there anything else I had on here that I wanted to talk about? We've done day tiles, light, doors, night tiles, warps. So to warp out of a indoor location, on your map properties, it's going to be, oh, I need to not be clicked on it. Add property, warp. You're going to do your where you're leaving from. So in this case, it's tile 1410. So it's where you're leaving from, XY coordinates. The location name that you're going to. So the name that you have coded as your location. So let me open up my locations. So not the name of the map file, the name of the location. So for example, if I was going to the merchant tent, it's going to be this name right here. So when you, on your load target, it's going to be the name you have set as your target. Not your map tile, because you can see I've got different target names versus my file name, but the name you set as your target location. And then you're going to do the tile you want them to arrive on. So departure XY, name of location, arrival XY. And that is when the farmer walks onto that tile, they will automatically be transported to that spot. Now, if I go to my map, what that is going to do is if they're in the trailer and they leave the trailer, they're going to land right here on the square of grass in front of the door. To click on a door and go in, you're going to be on your buildings layer. You're going to make a tile data square. You're going to make sure it's named tile data. And it's going to be action and then the type of warp. So in this case, my warp is the kind that I've set where the door is locked between certain hours, like the house is closed, like people do when they lock their door when they go to sleep. So that is a locked door warp. And it's going to be the arrival tile, where they're going to land on the other side, the name of the location. So they're going to land on tile 14.9 inside the trailer. Tile 14.9 inside the trailer is this one right in front of the door. And then it's going to be the hours this door is supposed to be locked. So, no, sorry, the hours the door is unlocked. So between 8 a.m. and what is that, like 10 p.m., I think? Yeah, 10 p.m., 8 and 10. Between 8 and 10, this door is open. And outside of that time, you're going to get a, I'm sorry, this door is locked message. So that is your warps. So I'm going to save this because I have made some changes and I'm going to want to remember to update that. And then that is basically it. You just have to go into the game, go into, I believe debug mode is included in Content Patcher now, so you warp to your location and go run around and click on things and make sure they do what you want them to do. On the original video, I did include some of me running the character around and testing things. I may tack that on to the end of the new version. We'll see. But I hope you found all this information helpful. My audio is working this time. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience on the last video. I have no idea why the comments were turned off. I really don't. If you catch that in future videos, feel free to pop into another video of the same series. Please let me know because these are supposed to be useful for you. And if you can't hear what I'm saying or you can't ask questions, then it's not useful for you. And I will do my best to get things fixed at any point when they're pointed out to me. I hope this has been helpful. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.